What's going on, everyone? We are currently the day before our next event in the Legend car, and we've already made a couple of changes that we were talking about in the previous video. First thing we went ahead and took care of was lowering our seat by about 2 inches. We now have a little bit of space in between the seat and the top bar, and testing it with our helmet and Hans and everything, we do have a little bit more clearance to the bars. We've also got our carbs back from the individual that built them out for us here locally. I've yet to put our filters back on, but we will do that probably when we get to the track. The person who built them said that he was gonna sync them up for us once we are at the track. He has his mercury gauges and whatnot, so he'll do them. Hopefully they'll be pretty okay. Hopefully we won't run into that issue anymore. Obviously we've got a white hood on now. We've put our old one right up there in our storage rack as a spare, and hopefully it makes our body look a little bit cleaner. So in the previous video I mentioned that we'd be throwing in some bearing spacers for both of our front hubs here. Unfortunately I'm not 100% sure if I'll have the time to do that, as we're supposed to be loading the car here pretty soon. But if we get to do it, awesome. If not, it's not the end of the world. Right now I'm going to be swapping out our brake pads. These ones are, I believe, a number 4 compound or number 3. I'm not 100% certain on what compound we have right now on the car, but after talking to the person that built our carbs out, it seemed like we're not getting enough bite. We don't have a brake bias controller, so we kind of can't deal with anything that would help, but we're going to try and swap out these pads, see if it helps us out tomorrow. So we've got the car all loaded up, got all of our gear, our tools, all loaded up here as well with some tires. We're gonna start heading down to the track now. We've obviously got the new pads in the front. I did put the bearing spacer in on the right front, but didn't have time to get to it on the left front. So we'll see if that makes a difference for us, but we'll head on out there. Practice for us this time is quite a bit better for us than last time. We're still running about 20.3, 20.4 second laps, but each lap we were getting better and better, and definitely felt more comfortable now with the seat change in the car, so that was kind of what I wanted to feel out for practice. We did initially think that there were 3 practices, so we ran the first one and we're going to skip the second one to run the third one, but the schedule revealed that there was in fact no third practice and we just missed a second session. No big deal, but it is what it is. Now we're in the car for qualifying, driving through the pits, getting ready to go up. We were one of the first cars out for qualifying, so it was kind of hard for us to gauge how good we were until the very end, but overall the car did feel significantly better. For us this week was definitely much better than the last time. Unfortunately, we're still 35th on the list, but we ran a 20.1, which was significantly better than last time, and both of our laps were within 2/1000ths of a second of each other. So that's pretty cool that we were consistent, but Still not super quick or even relatively quick. Still got a little bit of work to do to get us down into the 19s, which we were actually able to do throughout the day. But for now, qualifying a 20.1 was pretty okay with us. And now we get out of the car and get ready for our dash. Our dashes at this track are right around 10 laps. We did pretty okay. We were able to pass, I think, 1 or 2 cars. You can see here we're coming up on the 43 here and passing them on the outside. So our carbs definitely cleaned up a bit and gave us a little bit more power to kind of stick with the main group. We didn't end up going down a lap, so that was pretty good for us. There was a little section here where one of the cars got loose. I think it was the 17, and kind of made everyone scatter out. That killed a decent amount of our momentum coming off the corner there, but the rest of this race was pretty uneventful and we were able to finish off in 15th place. And our best time of the night came from the dash at a 19.6. Had a little bit of an intermission at the track between our dash and our features, so I had time to get out of the car, grab a bite to eat, and right after we were finished eating, it was time to get back in the car and get pushed out so we could line up for our feature. Here in the feature, we were able to maintain lead lap again, just like we did in the dash, but the feature here for us is about 20 laps for the slower cars. We were able to get quite a run here on the 78 car and ended up passing her on the inside in turns 1 and 2. We were then able to maintain that position throughout the rest of the feature and had a pretty uneventful rest of it. There was a car that did cause a caution from catching on fire, but they were able to put it out pretty quickly and get the car off the track, and we were able to resume our last 5 laps there. And as we crossed the finish line here, we were able to bring the car home in 13th place. We were then able to drive it into the pits and onto the trailer, so that's always a good day for us. And now we have the car back here in the garage with us, ready to make a couple more changes to it for the next time that we're going to be out there, which is going to be June 10th. For our right front, we had to revert back to doing no bearing spacer just because we couldn't eliminate the amount of drag that we had. But overall, pretty solid day. Like I said, we were able to bring the car home in one piece yet again. We're going to go through the chassis real quick and make sure nothing is in too dire need of attention right now. Go through all the bolts, make sure there's no cracks in anything. We're going to try and clean off our Lexan windshield here, because those get pretty dirty here pretty quick. We do have a 12-inch rod on our right rear here, and I think we're gonna switch that out to an 11-inch so we can get a little bit more square on our rear end. There's not really a whole lot that needs to be done to the car between now and June 10th, which is our next outing at Colorado National Speedway. I'll try and have a couple more videos out between now and then, but until then, I appreciate you guys watching. Hope to catch you in the next one.